I started spoken word in the most weirdest way. I was meant to be in secondary school, but because I stayed with my single mom, so she wasn't able to afford fees. It was at that time that I got interest in spoken word, and I decided to attend the class, and I took the class as seriously as I would take my books if I were in school. Like I said, it was never about the money. It was never about fame. I didn't even know. Like, some people watching it don't care about spoken word right now. It has to be God. The core of my being has to be God. I sort of find spoken word boring as well, and it depends on who is doing it. There are a few people that I find interesting. In Nigeria, you have to speak the language of the people that they understand and that they can relate with. The likes of Zlatan, Zinoliski, they speak the language of the people because they are streets. Wetin go pay me pass now if doctors don't go on strike. They speak the music of the streets.
What will you say have been your biggest stage up until now?
My biggest stage so far has been the experience, the 18th edition. It gives me butterflies, feels very nice. So yeah, IBQUAKE would be a household name. When people think of me, they don't just even think spoken word. It will be much more than that. It will be something that causes revival and impact. So I want to leave that legacy that, IBQUAKE came as she created an atmosphere where other spoken word artists could come and say, yes, this is what I want to be.
If you are new on this channel and if you're a returning viewer, thank you for sticking with us. It means everything. Help us like, subscribe and share what we do here. We promise you more stories that matter, told by the people themselves. Now, let's get back to the episode. I am a strong believer, at any stage in our journey, we need to tell our own stories. Because if you don't, people are eventually going to tell your story for you. And today, I have with me someone that feels like a generational kind of talent with what she does. The way she grabs her craft is very amazing to look at. I'm talking about no other than Ibukun Ajagbe. IBQUAKE, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome. But you know you're good.
I mean, it takes me a while to accept that, but yes, I acknowledge that I am.
It takes you a while.
When others tell me, I'm like, are you really sure? So there's some here and there doubts, but I mean, it's just one of those things that come and go.
Yeah, but you've been doing this for 8 years. That's what you said.
This year makes it the 10th year, actually. I started in 2014. And yeah, so this makes it the 10th year.
Wow, that's a long time for you to still not believe how good you are. Why?
So I didn't start out like this. If you watch most of my videos from way back, I can't even watch myself. But I understand that was a journey for me. And I know that I've harnessed my craft so well now that I'm a lot better than I used to be. Although it takes some getting used to receive it and so when people tell me how great, I mean, I know I'm great. When it feels like they're exaggerating, like, come on, come down. But yeah, it's always so honoring. I always appreciate it, to be honest.
All right. So it has all been an humbling experience for you?
Yes, honestly, that's the way I'll put it. Yes, very humbling.
Okay, so since we're talking about humbling, can we talk about your beginners? Like, if I knew you when you were like 5, 4, what are the things I'm going to know?
5 or 4. I've always been an exuberant child. I've been a happy child. I always wanted to do stuff. Like, I was just in the arts. I was probably 5 or 4. I can't really remember per se, but in my early years, I wanted to be a dancer and a singer. And I wanted to be so many things. But in church, I'll go and be dancing. I'll be singing. I won't have a song. I had a song back then. Like, if I sing it, it's just so ridiculous. I wonder what I was going through at that such a young age.
What age was that?
I don't know. Probably 9 or 10 or 11. I'm a lonely girl coming from east and west. Who am I? But yeah, I wonder what I was going through.
But
But
had a good and beautiful voice.
Hey, I don't know about that, but if I continued singing right from time, I probably would be an amazing singer.
So you've tried everything from singing, dancing.
I have.
When did you fall in love with spoken words?
I did in 2014 thereabout. That's when I decided to attend a class, and I was like, I like this. It wasn't a mainstream and popular thing to do, but I knew that I enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah.
So, at 11, you were trying to sing. Are you the youngest child, or do you have siblings?
I have an older brother. But I wasn't just I would say I was shuffling singing, but I was mostly dancing. I was in the dance group at church. I used to take dancing like it was It was a very thing that I breathed in, and that was what I loved doing at the time.
Do you still dance?
To be honest, if you catch some of my videos, I dance here and there, but I am not as great as I used to be. Yeah, and I used to do hip-hop, pop and lock, like everything contemporary. If you want me to raise my leg above, like I used to do, I really enjoy dancing. I know it's hard to imagine, but I still have the moves low-key, but to do the crazy steps, no, not really. Not anymore.
Okay. So, what schools did you go to?
Hey. I went to a number of schools actually growing up, but the school I finished from is not the most popular school, but it's called Starways College.
Starways College. Where's that?
It's at Aja.
Aja. So you grew up in Aja. That's
Yes,
what
I
I'm trying
grew
to
up
get
in.
at.
I grew up in Aja, right from time. Yes, I've always lived in Aja.
Do you still stay in Aja?
No, I don't stay in Aja anymore.
So, how did Aja influence your craft? That's just what I'm trying to get at.
To be honest, Aja had zero to no influence. Because I mean, like, then I didn't even really know much about spoken word, so I just lived there. But my environment, my environment only affected me based on its proximity, and I would call that family. Neighbors didn't even really influence me as much. So my environment barely did. So I just say like my family, the people that I live with. Yeah, they were the only ones that influenced me. Yeah.
So they're the one that influence your craft you did, like the people you call family.
A number of things
Influence
influence
your
my
craft.
craft,
Now,
but yeah,
but
the
in the
people that are
beginning,
closest, the people that are closest to me and matter more to me, they highly influence this work that I do.
Okay. When was the first time you, like, genuinely, like, I think I can take this to the max?
And I think that's the thing with starting out something. You never really have the full picture, because then I was just a young child. I just knew that I liked doing it. I didn't have the full picture and the entire picture. Like, I wanted to go. My dream was never to go global. It was never even to make money. It was just to do it because I just enjoyed it. So it's never really been the goal, like, but now of course I have set out goals that I want. But back then, just like I'm in my teenage years, like I like it. Let me just go. That's why I just they go. Actually.
How often do you go to like train? Like I saw one time that you wrote about the woman that trained you about.
Yeah. So that's how I started off.
How often do you like see her then?
So I used to go to I attend House on the Rock, and in the teen church we used to have like a spoken word class. And because I had seen someone do it, there was this girl that was so excellent at it, and I was like, okay, I would like to attend the class. And Auntie Atilola, I still call her Auntie Atilola. She used to be my mentor, and it wasn't just me; it was a number of people. Because you sign up for the class, you pay like 2K, or I can't remember how much it was, and I did it up until the last class, which was 12 weeks or thereabouts. And she was like, oh, I think like I believe in you, and I think that you take this full scale. Like, I really want you to go at it, that you've been serious, you've been dedicated. And I was like, okay, let's see. And like from there, like I just started. So I'd say that spoken word encompasses poetry in itself. And as it is, spoken word is performance. That's what it is. It's meant to be performed on stage. It is bigger than you think because it involves your entire being. It involves your mind. It involves your mind just as much as it involves your gestures, just as much as it involves your words. And your words cannot just be busy because you're speaking to. So I feel like I do spoken word a lot differently. I'm speaking to human beings. I'm not speaking to archaic people or people of the old days. I want them to be able to relate with what I'm saying. So spoken word is relatable. It's speaking life into people. And how do you speak life into people? They need to understand the language that you speak. It's why I'll say the likes of Zlatan, Naira Marley, they speak the language of the people because they are street. They speak the music of the street. And in Nigeria, you have to speak Nigeria. You can't be speaking French. You can't be speaking French in Nigeria. You have to speak the language of the people that they understand and that they can relate with. It's why even the likes of Zinoliski, like these street guys, they carry sound, because just as much as the street guys can relate to it, the wealthy and the people of class also can relate to the type of music that they do. So I think that they just speak the language of Nigeria, and I try my best in my spoken word to do that. So I think I'm coining my own way of doing spoken word, if I say so myself.
Yeah, talking about that, you always deliver a performance that is full of passion, like so much passion and so much emotion. How do you tap into that when you get on stage?
So I'd say that an entirely different being on stage. And I mean it by every word that it connotes. Because sometimes after my performances, I have to go back to them and I have to look at myself like diligently, I mean, I remember the feeling, like how I felt on stage, but I don't remember my gesture. So it's like, I watch it and I'm like, oh, like, why did I do that? But I find it very interesting. And I feel like the very core to what I do is God. And I feel like he just expresses himself through me. Like whatever I'm talking about, like, I don't care wherever I find myself in. I just know that it's not me, it's not exactly me doing all of those things. Because I don't practice. I don't practice to move my legs. I promise you that I don't practice. So it comes just as natural as it is. And to be honest, the depth to which it is the purpose to which I've been called in God. So it just releases. Like sometimes I don't even remember, but I know what I do. I also try to manipulate my voice, which is like, and you connect better with people. You know when to be soft, you know when to be loud, you know when to be still. Like it's just so, to be honest, spoken word is so beautiful. I feel like I'm blushing, like I'm toasting myself. But it's actually so exciting, to be honest.
I like the passion in your voice when you talk about your craft. It's beautiful to listen to.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to watch. So I mean, the beauty in existence has come with what you do. Like you've been able to go to some talent type of places, like irrespective of whatever life was before you started your craft, irrespective of whatever your struggle was, you've been able to experience some beauty in existence. How has that not been able to change your craft? Like how have you remained diligent? Like, oh, this is what is more important than whatever is coming.
To be honest, I know that I've been to a lot of places, by the God. Like I'm thankful for the opportunities that I've been given. But one thing I'm sure of is what I do. And I try, although through seasons I evolve. And like I said earlier, I'm not the person I was like 5 years ago, especially with as regards my craft. I know that I've evolved, but I've remained true to who I am. Like and that's like when you know who you are, like it's hard for people to move or change you because there's a core on your inside that can't be moved. Like you can try to tell me what to do, but as long as you believe in what you do, like there's no way anybody can move you or shift you or gear you elsewhere. And I think that this is the purpose to which I've been called. Like I can't have any other life aside. I don't see myself being a dancer. I don't see myself being an entrepreneur. Maybe in the future, but in this season of my life, I believe strongly that like this is what I'm called to do, and I love it so much. And I tell myself wherever I go to, like, there's no room for fear. There's no room for timidity. Because to be honest, when I step on that stage, I don't care if it's the governor. I mean, I respect that the governor is there, the president is there. But in that moment, I'm center stage and the spotlight is on me. And I believe that that's how everybody should think. When you know what you do or what you're called for, and when you're excelling in that, I promise you that you're center stage, you're the star in your own show. And you make the rules in some sense. Like people don't get to make the rules for you. Because I promise you, like, especially with what I do, there's so much power in it that when I step on the stage, everybody is still. Like you're still, like I control your entire attention. And I love that with what I do. And I think that for everybody in their respective fields, like there's a power that you have that other people don't have. And I think it's just to use that to your advantage.
So you spoke about the core of your being. If I was to ask you in one word, what do you think is the core of your being?
To be honest, the core of my being, it has to be God. If you know be God, Jesus, it can't be anything else. I would, and I've seen, let me now even give you guys a secret to my life. I've seen there's something called divine alignment, which is so true. I started spoken word in the most weirdest way. I remember in 2014 or before then, I wasn't in school. Like I was meant to be in secondary school, but because I stayed with my single mom, so she wasn't able to afford the fees. So I was at home for 2 years. If people that know me are watching, to be honest, they will know that that's why I say I've gone to a number of schools. And because we weren't able to pay the fees. And it was at that time that I got interested in, it's so crazy. Like I was home. I wasn't doing anything. My mates were in school. But I was interested in spoken and I decided to attend the class. And I took the class as seriously as I would take my books if I were in school. And it's just to see, like, I'm so thankful for God because, okay, what if I was in school? Would I have had time for spoken word? Like, I mean, I ended up going back to school, of course. But like, It's so insane. Like how that seemingly random moment changed my entire life.
The trajectory of your life.
It changed my entire life. I would not even have believed if someone had told me that, oh, if you take this spoken, like I said, it was never about the money. It was never about fame. I didn't even know. Like nobody, some people watching it don't care about spoken word right now. But like who knew? Like, to be honest, it has to be God. The core of my being has to be God, whether I like it or not.
Okay, I like that. I like that response. The core of my existence is God. So do you have like a favorite Bible verse?
I have a lot of Bible verses, but I think that God speaks to me more in Isaiah when he said, I have sent a man for a far off land, something to do my will. My purpose will stand and I'll do all that I please with you. It's to say that God can absolutely call anybody and anyone. Like, you don't need to be the best person or the most good looking person. Like, as long as you've been called by God, like you are effective, you are powerful, you are sufficient, and you're right for the job. I promise you, like he makes you perfect for what he has called you for. Yeah.
And glory be to God.
Hallelujah.
All right, so let's move forward. Like, I like that. Do you think the money has taken away from the craft?
The money that I've received has taken
the
away.
money you've made from it, like the money, the fame, do you think it has taken away from your craft?
Hey, money no fit. Pardon, money no fit. To be honest, I don't think. I mean, money has advanced me. I can't lie that money hasn't had its perks. But because I didn't start off because of money or because of fame, you can't like what kind. It's like I'm just chilling. What do you want? Like you can't take anything away from someone who already knows who she is. And money doesn't define me. The fame doesn't define me. But what I would say, so money hasn't exactly. It has, of course, it has advanced me and increased me and giving me opportunities to do most of the things that I do. But I think that one thing that has influenced me is the people. So growing up, like I know that like sometimes, let me be secret as well. I sort of find spoken word boring as well. And it depends on who is doing it. There are a few people that I find interesting. So I also try my best by the grace. It could still be boring for some people, but I try my best to make it as enjoyable for people with relatable characters that they can watch and say, oh, like to give you excitement. So that has influenced me. Like, but it has influenced me, but it's still who I am. If you know me very well, you know I have such a comical nature. I'm such a child, to be honest, and that influences my art. So when I talk about the Avengers, and funny enough, I don't watch the Avengers, I don't watch football, but if it's to talk about it, research, you have access to information, and I do all of those, and I find it very interesting. Like when I talk about it, there's a line that I have that you have the resources in your hands, advanced technology in your palms, inside your head content full. You have the code that can decode Nigeria's malaria and typhoid. You are the solution to nations. You play forward and you do it well like Rashford. You are a global Arsenal, and I'm not talking Gabriel Martinelli. I want to believe you've scored more goals than Saka. You're legendary like JJ Okocha. You strike through like Asisat Oshwala. So like literally all of this. So I don't watch but I go to Nigeria like, oh, what does Rashford? And I know I've been in crowds where when I'm seeing that men are like, whoa, and I know there's just so much joy in it, to be honest. There's so much joy.
Yeah, I mean, I could listen to you do your spoken words all day,
I'm glad.
and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm sure many people feel that way. But okay, let me. Do you write your stuff? That's one thing.
Oh yeah, I write all of my works.
Yourself?
Yes, myself.
Which do you enjoy most, the writing or the performance?
So I'll say that I prefer performing, because writing is a lot, and I feel like if I could find someone that could write as excellently as I do, like 90% of my problems will be sorted. And I mean that in all sincerity. Because performing is just like my playground. Like I'm just, like if you watch me, you know that, wow, this girl is having fun. Like but when it comes to writing, I'm like, okay, I have to think creatively. Like people are expecting IBQUAKE, like the 100% IBQUAKE. Like, and some days you can't, or you won't always be 100. Like, my best, I feel like I'm giving all my best lines. So, and that's it, like sort of like a fear, like, okay, would I still be able to meet up sometimes? But I always outdo myself, and I hope you agree too.
Yeah, I agree to that. But I just want to talk on that. You said you feel like sometimes you've given 100%. Have you ever had a writer blockage before?
To be honest, I always do have that. And one of my fears, and this is another secret, but one of my fears is that my recent achievement would be my last achievement. It's weird for someone like me to think that, and I don't know why I do, but it's always so scary, which is why, like, when good things or great things happen, I always try my best to live in the moment, enjoy every single bit of it. That's why I post die. And I keep memories. I take pictures because I'm just that's just my person. I take a lot of pictures. I go back to reflect on them sometimes, and I just like to live in the moment for real. Yeah.
So you try not to think too far ahead, and you try not to be too.
To be honest, yes, but I think that is also important to think ahead. Like, okay, what are the next steps? Like even if open doors don't come, you have to be the one to go and jam those doors open. Like, what are the things that I could do better? Like, what are the opportunities that are open for me and to me? So it's just now I know that, okay, like this year 2024, I'm trying my best to make moves. I'm not just sitting down waiting for moves to come. I want to be the one to intentionally make those moves.
Do you have any moves in the pipeline?
How would I reveal any secret? But I mean, a number of things that I'm working.
Let's have something like, people are expecting
a number
something.
of things, but one of which is my own podcast. Yeah, so
you have a great voice.
I hope that people would enjoy. Like, you guys will listen, because I'll not be talking about if a man, all those rubbish that they always talk about. If that's what it is, so I don't know, Nigerians, that's what they like to hear. But me, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that brings me to like the question I've been looking to ask you. You do your own, like, spoken words was not popular when you were coming up. And how did you know, like, this thing is good, I'll be able to monetize this thing? Did you ever think, like, you'll be able to?
To be honest, so because I said it was never about the money, I didn't really think that, it's come a time I'll be earning so much money, I'll be able to make so much money from what I do. But it only got to, like, the more you grow in your art, the more you see the value in it. And it's just like any profession. Like, you give value in exchange for money. Like, if I'm working 9 to 5, you best be paying me, and maybe even better. But in my art, I found that, okay, I don't even need to work a 9 to 5, and I can get money and in exchange for the value that I have, right? So it was up until I was intentional with how I position myself. And when clients come at the moment now, and it's always a struggle. So I always say for upcoming artists or whatever, do stuff for free. It's okay to do that. Like put yourself out there, because that's when people get to see you. I don't think it's the wisest to just splash a huge amount on yourself. Like, yes, this except Mark Zuckerberg or something like that. But like, I mean, if you're starting small, start small. That's okay. Enjoy the process. But it's to come into like your own spirit to tell you that, okay, it's time to upscale. It's time to do more. It's time to charge more. It's time, because you're not just paying for that session if I'm speaking for 5 minutes, you're not just paying for 5 minutes. You're paying for my time and years of experience that I've put into this art. Because if I wasn't as excellent in what I do, you wouldn't be looking for me. In fact, you'd probably not even come near me. So you just have to know who you are and position yourself in a way that you can earn with the talents that you do, because your talent would earn you money. But it's not just about the money. It brings you respect and honor. And not just about that, but you're also fulfilling a life's calling. And if you don't need to start out with 1,000 people, just starting with one person. To me, that's it. And it's why in my recent piece, I said to willingly create impact, even if it's a crowd of one. Like, I know, like, I wouldn't always have the ears of every single person in the room, but if it's just one person that is deeply needing of a word that I would say, then by all means, yes.
I've been speaking with you for like a couple of minutes. There's this aura about you. There's this confidence. Like, every time you speak, you feel like, even though it's one person that is listening,
wow,
I'm catching that person. Where does that come from?
To be honest, people always talk about, oh, wow, she's so confident. I think I am. And I think one thing that spoken word has helped me to do is build that confidence. Because I wasn't as confident from the get-go. Even my voice. If you listen to me 5 years ago, I don't want to hear myself. But I feel like I've owned my craft. Like, I can step into a room and capture everyone's attention because I know who I am. This is years of experience, and you can't take that away from me no matter what. And I think it's also from my belief as well, who I am in God. So even sometimes, although I do get stage fright, like if I'm about to go to, like sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh. But once I'm on that stage, forget to, it's another game entirely. Like, we're not there to play. Thank you.
Since we're talking about stage frights, what will you say have been your biggest stage up until now?
My biggest stage so far, and it's such a pleasure to say it, but my biggest stage so far has been the experience, the 18th edition. It's to say it like that because it gives me butterflies. Like, I'll just say, it feels very nice. So yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How did you find out you're going to be on the stage?
How what?
How did you find out you're going to be on the stage?
How did I find out? So the in 2022, I had gone to I attend House on the Rock. So Pastor Paul had already said, okay, for I had ministered at the Christmas Carol, and he watched it and he was like, wow. I'm joking. And he was like, oh, you're going to be at the experience next year.
That
And
was 2022.
2022 December.
Okay.
And I was okay when the day was approaching. They hadn't reached out to me like almost a month to the experience. I was like, top, to God be the glory. But when they sent me a
Hallelujah.
message, I was like, wow, like because it's so honoring. Like all of my life has led to this moment right here. Like, and I'm such a baby. I'm still a young girl, and God is doing so many great things with me, and it's so honoring. Like I can't overestimate how honoring it is. I felt so excited.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. I could feel the excitement in your voice.
Thank you.
So, what did that stage give to you? I know all of us witnessed what you gave to the stage, but I want to ask you, what did that stage give to you?
To be honest, the stage currently is still opening doors, and I'll put it like that, the simplest way, and is also giving credibility to my name, right? I've always had but it just needed the right audience and the right people. And the experience, of course, is dominated by Christians, but I don't just do Christian content. I do both secular and Christian. I perform almost anywhere, not anywhere, but almost any and everywhere. Yes.
Yeah. So since we're talking about gifts, I know you are gifts to spoken words. I understand what you give to us. Then what does it give to you as a person? Now I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about every other thing. I'm talking about what it gives to your being. What does it give to your being?
So as you can see, when I talk about spoken word, like spoken word excites me. It makes me whole, and I mean this. It's like this was the perfect match. You know, when you're fixing a puzzle and everything is put in place. If I was doing anything else, I don't think I would be as fulfilled as I am. Spoken word to me is like an expression. I found myself being so vulnerable with my art. I've seen what it does to me, like on stage, like I'm another person on stage, and I love it. Like I love the feeling so much. So it really does complete me. I can clearly say that I've been called to this, and to be honest, there's no better feeling.
I know better feeling than your passion making you money, though.
Yeah, the money part is great. I love it. To be honest, the money is exciting too, to be honest. And I still emphasize I was really never about that. But I mean, I've come to a stage where I earn enough to live my life. And to be honest, it's truly a gift. Like my gift is a gift. Because the gifts, they add different gifts on top. It's like people recognize you. And when I say recognize, I don't just mean in person. Like they recognize you for what you have and who you are. Like they honor you. Like people that you used to look up to when you were growing up, now they just see you and, oh, I love you. Me, I love you. Don't love
the
me.
Love is mutual.
As in the love is, you know that meme with Lai and the Ojon, the Yoruba actor, they're kneeling down. That's what, like it just like the money, the everything. Like I'm being gifted by people. I love that gift part. Is the one that is very interesting to me. Like
you're going to call your gift a gift that keeps giving.
Yes, to be honest, giving and receiving too. But even though the receiving is not, but it's interesting to know that your gift can make you a receiver as well, like a receiver of people's love. Like how would someone somewhere just love me? Like you're not doing it. I saw someone saying she put my face on her phone. Like it's honoring, but like you don't it's just like how?
It's mind blowing.
Like, and it's because I never fathomed that it would get to this point, which is very, very crazy. And I'm so grateful for it. And of course, more to come, more establishment in the spoken word field, more everything global. Like, you probably have to call me again because you have to call me again because it would have gotten to some heights that would require the recognition. And I don't say this out of pride, but with all humility and hope for the future.
Yeah, I like it. Like I like when we project with all humility and at the same time we know who we are.
Yeah.
Because it's very important. Because in a world where you don't take direction of your narrative, people will take direction for you. So with all humility, I like to take direction of my own narrative. I like to stay in my power. I like to feel like I can do it if I say I'm going to do it. So on a personal note, what do you intend to leave with spoken word? And in terms of legacy, what do you intend to leave?
Like when I want one, IBQUAKE would be a household name. Two, when people hear of my name, and no, it's not even just about the name, but the words is that impact. So when people think of me, they don't just even think spoken word. Because I've had someone in my comment say, oh, what did you do at the experience? Or what do you even do? Because they don't know whether to call it spoken word preaching. They don't know what to tag it as. It is spoken word, but it will be much more than that. It will be something that causes revival and impact. So I want to leave that legacy that, oh, IBQUAKE came and she made impact. She created an atmosphere where other spoken word artists could come and say, yes, this is what I want to be. Not that this is a side or is a hobby. It's my profession. It's who I am. I'm willing to give life to people just as much as these words give me life.
Wow, that's powerful. Thank you for sharing that with us. So now I like to ask this, and I don't know, if you have to choose between dabbling into something else, because I actually followed all your audition when you became a runner up. I was seeing everything back to back. And someone, I think it was Iniedo, when she was saying I love you, and she said she thinks you can be everything you want to be. You can be an actor, you can be a singer, you can be a rapper. I mean, that's the way she put it. And I feel like it made a lot of sense to me why she was saying that, because I could really see where she was coming from. Every time you're on stage, even when I watched the whole thing you did at the experience, you said it yourself. It looked like you were preaching. At some points, it looked like you were singing. At some points, it felt like spoken words. So, have you ever thought about dabbling into something else apart from spoken words?
To be honest, I'm open to different opportunities. I don't like to box myself up because I feel like I'm a multifaceted being and I'm so versatile. There's so much on the inside that I can give, right? But I think it's now me putting in the effort to actually go for those things. When you put your mind to something, you can absolutely achieve it as long as you have focus. That's your focus. But I think my focus for me for the past couple of years was just being spoken word. But I think this year I'm open to putting myself out there and actually just touching the waters of different fields and different things. Of course, I feel like I'll rock absolutely anything and anytime. It doesn't take away from the fact that I'm still a spoken word artist here.
Yeah, it doesn't take away anything from you, whatever you decide to do. Because I feel like you're amazing. So, you have a song you featured on?
Yes.
As a spoken word artist?
Yes. I have a number though, so it depends on which one you're speaking on.
Okay. How many do you have?
Hey, I can't count because I don't as much. I don't always.
But you've never sing on one. That's where I'm trying to get.
No,
to.
I don't.
Why?
I haven't. Why haven't I? To be honest, do I sing? I don't know if I sing.
But you just
I'll go and sing now. They'll come online and be saying, "Hey, Jesus, people are so." But no, it's not even. That's not even the.
But in the middle of this podcast, you just drop line for us where the studio, right?
And that was not singing now, but I can sing. What song do you want me to sing? Maybe this is where my first track will come from.
What song do you enjoy singing the most? What genre do you fuck with the most?
To be honest, I don't. Any song, I listen to different types of songs. I listen to gospel, rap, NF.
Okay. Is your favorite gospel artist? Who's your favorite?
My favorite gospel artists. They are Nigerians and Endless Ocean, but there's Maverick City as well. They are very cool people, to be honest. Who's also my favorite gospel? To be honest, I have a lot.
So sing. If I ask you to sing a song, what would you naturally go to?
Oh, there's one song that I learned in them. There's one movie like this. Jesus, should I sing it?
Give it a go now.
You can't stop an avalanche as it races to the sea. You could try to stop the seasons, but you know you never will.
You sing so well now.
Hey, please, even me, I know.
No. The possibilities are endless. That's your voice without anything. I can see my director blushing for you as you are singing. Legit.
Well, I'm flattered. Thank you.
So it's not only me. I think you sing well. So okay, I think I've learned a lot about your person, and that's what this is about. It talks about the people I bring on. I want people to see them for the core of their being. It's not just. We saw you on stage, and that's you sharing your gift with us. So now is you trying to share your humanity with us. I want people to share their humanity with people too.
I'm glad I did this.
Because bottom line of everything, I feel like we are whole humans before we are everything else.
Yeah. 100%.
And so I have a conversation card here with me today. These are questions that have been asked by some of the greatest minds alive.
Cool.
I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm in my right to say that. So you are just going to pick a card for me. I'm going to pass this to you. Pick a card for me, and I'll read you the question. But you are not allowed to look at the cards.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
So I just shuffle. Just okay.
Just pick anyone you
Okay.
like. I'll just read you the question. Wow, this is interesting. It said, where were you when you felt most vulnerable and why?
Hey, that's too deep now. Where was I when I felt my most vulnerable and why?
Yes.
Okay, the one that's coming to my mind is when I was in my car recently, like some weeks back, and I had gone to my spiritual father's house for a topical, so to talk about something. And he just said, he asked how I was feeling about the situation, and I was like, I'm okay. He was like, IBK, don't be a hard. Basically, just don't be a hard girl. Like, allow yourself to feel your emotions. I said, okay now. I went to my car, I was driving back, and I started to cry like a baby. Like a baby. And why was because I think my heart, not I think, but my heart was just really hurting. And I don't allow myself to feel my emotions as much as I should.
Why?
So that was I don't know, to be honest. I live my life. I don't like to dwell on hurts or pain, but it's also good to address emotions like that. And I never let myself do that. It's like I just had guy.
Do you think that comes with where you're at now? Like,
To be honest, I'll say so because some people have heard of my story, like my deep story, and they've like, now I see why you do what you do. And like they see why the expression is there, why there's so much depth in what I do. And I think there's so much in me, there's so much of a child in me that just looking to be let out. And it's only coming out in this adulthood. And yeah. I think that's the vulnerability in me and the childlikeness in me and my housing a lot of emotions comes with my craft as well. So it expresses itself in that way.
so when you tell me like people that know your deep story, what's the deep story?
To be honest, I don't know if there's any deep story per se. Like everybody just goes through life. Like everybody has encounters in life in which like they carry hurts into their adulthood. And I think that's a little of what I did, right?
Yeah, I feel like I understand where that's coming from. You mentioned earlier that you grew up with a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
How did that affect where you're at? If you look back at it.
To be honest, if I can speak for myself, it doesn't really affect me as much because I've resolved a lot with that. But growing up without a father, of course, is not the easiest. It's not the easiest.
For a girl child.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But I've come to reconciliation with him. But the past is still the past. Like it's still, you just have a trickle of it in your future. But I've really done a lot of healing from that. So to be honest, at the moment, I thank God that I'm healed to the extent that it doesn't affect me as much. But yeah.
So you feel like you're in a powerful place?
I'm in an extremely powerful place. Don't you know who I am? Yeah.
IBQUAKE, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if let's say, like, let's try and project forward. Let's say 5 years down the line, if you're talking to IBQUAKE, what will success look like to you? I don't mean to other people. I mean to you. What will success look like to you?
I like that question. Like success to me would be like a global impact. Like it wouldn't just be Nigeria. It would be people like. It's be people coming into, because if you listen to most of my works, it speaks to the identity of people. It'll be people coming into identity of who they really are. Like you'd see like nationwide, international impact. Like people would love spoken word for what it is. People would want to know more about themselves because of me. People would ask about this type of confidence. Like there would just be so much impact. Like people would be like, wow, I feel this way when I hear you. I'm relieved when I hear you. Yes, I see that would be success to me, creating a global impact. That my presence will be felt around the world.
Yeah. So that's cheers to global impact.
Yup.
I wish you all the best in creating
Thank
that.
you.
I hope you get everything you're working hard for.
I hope
and
so
more.
too.
So this is what we're going to go out with. If What's one advice you wished you got 8 years ago when you were about to go on this journey? One simple advice you wished you got 8 years ago.
To be honest, like Portable said, 99 advice has only one helper. So I'd have wished to have gotten a helper. Like, just to be honest, that's the simple truth. Like, I don't need an advice. I like the journey. I like the process that I went through. Like, that helped me to become who I am. But if I had people that didn't just, I didn't even have a lot of advice. Like, you go get, now people want advice, kill you. Use advice, finish you. But if I had people who had helped me then, like literally helped me, mentor me, I had a few, don't get me wrong. But people who also funded the stuff that I do, that would have been very, very, very amazing. Yeah. So yeah, no advice, just help.
Success has many helper, but I mean, struggle has no friend.
To be honest, and I don't hold people in contempt for that, because it's now that people want to be associated and want to not even help. Still advice, which is the sad stuff. Like, please don't advise me. When I needed advice, Portable was such a philosopher, please. But suffering, success has a lot of helpers.
Yeah, success has a lot of friends. That's what success is.
Yeah, and I would have that now, to be honest. But then I think I would have just needed help, right? Rather than advice.
So your single advice is get help.
Yes, if you can, and okay, what I'll then say to people is that find people that could help you, not necessarily advise you, but help you in helping you navigate where to go, what to do, give you, and if you just put in some one or two advice, but people that actually do help you. Yeah.
But I mean, when you talk about help that way, when you want people to navigate your journey for you,
one thing to advise.
I don't think. Wait, let's go easy. I don't think there's anybody that have done this the way you are doing it. So. Do you think there was somebody you could really get practical advice from?
To be honest, maybe yes, because I did still get some advice and I got some mentoring, but I feel like if I had people, and I like that, and that's why I mentioned, like, I wouldn't change anything because I like the process that I went through. Like, the process is what makes me, but I would have really liked help in terms of, like, because there are people, like, I'm now having to relearn some stuff. I'm now having to seek information from various sources, things that I should have been doing years back, because I had people to navigate me. Oh, you can do this, you can do that. But now I'm having to seek that for myself because I've grown in my own capacity and I know what I want and I know what would help me. But yeah, I feel like there are people that would have just done that for me. They were, but yeah.
Right. Thank you for that. And I mean, this has been a blessing to me, because when I see people that are confident in the being of their existence, it makes me remember, like, everything I promise myself is not a delusion. If I can stay confident on my own journey, it leads to beautiful places like yours. And thank you for doing this with me. Wow. I appreciate it.
You're such a poet, a Shakespeare, I swear.
So, what's that? Okay.
So this is a testament that God is God. And there is nothing Juju can do. His blood speaks better things than that of Abel. We stand gallant because our senior man is able. He who speaks to mountains and they move. And to dead dreams, he says, Talitha cum. We ask for mercy, but on top Calvary, mercy fall. He who is merciful and good. See, this is a testament that Jehovah is always good.
God. Yeah. Thank you. You don't do a lot of interviews. You should. You fun. Yeah, you should. Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah.
Wow,
thank you
that's
and
so
thank
nice
you.
To hear. Mosas, you think so too? Like a interview.
If you are new on this channel and if you're a returning viewer, thank you for sticking with us. It means everything. Help us like, subscribe, and share what we do here. We promise you more stories that matter, told by the people themselves.